We live in a matrix, and the whole world is a simulation. Sounds like nonsense, but every day there's a feeling that this is the case, as indicated by the regular lags and glitches in the matrix. Mysterious phenomena happen on roads all over the world. People and animals appear out of nowhere and disappear into nowhere. And planes and mirrors behave too strangely. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll show you 11 glitches in the Matrix caught on CCTV cameras and more. Let's go! Let's start with this strange footage captured by a security camera. We see a road on which motorcyclists are moving. They turn left where the curb is clearly visible, but all the road users disappear behind it, as if they're falling into it. By all canons, they should crash into it and fly off into the road or over it, but they ride smoothly into it as if there's an exit somewhere. What do you think? A glitch in the Matrix? Evidence of teleportation? Or maybe an unusual editing? The situation with motorcyclists can indeed be explained by an editing, but other mysterious episodes occur on roads all over the world. For example, accidents on a flat surface. And I don't mean that these accidents happen out of stupidity, they literally arise out of nothing. For example, this red car is driving down an empty, smooth road when suddenly it crashes into something. You can see that it could only have crashed into the air, but there's serious damage. It feels as if there was a head-on collision with another car, but the nearest car is about 100 to 150 feet away. Some attribute this video to a collision with a ghost car, but to me it seems like a perfect example of a real Matrix glitch. Flying cars. People have been saying for years that in the future we'll travel in flying cars. Well, it seems that the future's already here. Cars are already flying all over the place. Take a look for yourself. However, it's impossible to explain this with new technologies. It's obvious that something strange is happening in the footage. Two cars were driving normally but suddenly took off at an intersection and started levitating. In video games this sometimes happens, and if we really live in the Matrix, why wouldn't it happen in our world as well? Strange things happen on the roads, not only to cars but also to pedestrians. In this footage we see a girl about to cross the road by a crosswalk. Two cars are approaching her on the left. The first one slowed down as soon as the girl started walking, and the second one only speeded up. This usually ends in a hit and run, but this time everything was good. In no time, the girl was on the other side of the road with someone else helped her. You know what happens in video games when your character lags and you don't stop pressing the forward button? And after a few seconds, your character's like 30 feet away from their original position in an instant? Maybe the same thing happened here. Share your thoughts in the comments and keep watching, because there are even more unreal and crazier moments further in this episode. This video starts out casual. A guy's fooling around trying to get across part of the road on poles while his friend is filming. So he takes another step but doesn't make it, loses his balance and falls right on the pole. It seems like in a moment he's going to seriously bump into it and get badly hurt. But the guy's body goes right through the pole. It feels like he became an ethereal ghost for a second, and that saved him from injury. This video is hard to explain. Maybe it's another glitch in the Matrix, or maybe it's a glitch in the camera. A surveillance camera installed on the street captured two guys walking in its direction. The footage is frame by frame, so you can see everything in detail. They don't stand out in the first shots, but as they get closer, their faces change to something creepy. When they're right in front of the camera, we can see their appearance. They look more like humanoids or other similar creatures than humans. The glitch in the Matrix seems to have transformed their appearance for a few seconds. When a helicopter takes off, its blades spin very fast, and everyone knows that. But how about this? It looks like an ordinary helicopter, but look, its blades aren't spinning even though it's taking off. We can clearly see that the helicopter's in motion and gaining altitude, but how is this possible? In general, although it can be explained by a glitch in the Matrix, such a phenomenon is explainable in another way. Most likely, the frame rate of the camera coincides with the rotation frequency of the helicopter blades. so it seems that the blades are not rotating. Such an optical illusion is created. Okay, but then how do we explain it? Here we see the airplane already, and it's hovering in the air. Even though the cameraman jerks the camera a bit, he stands still, and the frame rate of the camera hardly coincides with the speed of the plane, because the shooting is most likely done on a simple smartphone. The following video is even harder to explain than the previous ones, because there's something paranormal going on. Two guys are fishing in a boat on a river when they saw a moose and turned on the camera. You betcha, that moose can walk on water, or rather run. It ran briskly onto the woods, crossed the river, and was on the other side. Yes, such a run can be explained by the depth of the river. We could say that the moose had waded across the river, so it was shallow. But this assumption is spoiled by the boat. After all, if the river were really shallow, how could the fishermen have so dashingly rowed across it in the boat? The boat would have run aground a long time ago. To me, this mystical video can only be explained by a glitch in the matrix. This video is no less mysterious. It was taken by a security camera. In front of us is an ordinary parking lot. A van moves through it. It passes two parked cars, and suddenly a man appears in the frame. But we all clearly saw that he wasn't there. He couldn't have run out of the thicket. He literally appeared out of nowhere in an instant. Notice that he was standing still as if he'd just arrived there. Yes, of course this can be explained. For example, this man could have jumped out of the van, SWAT style, right on the move. But you have to agree that sounds strange. In this case, a glitch in the matrix seems a more logical explanation. Someone appears out of nowhere and someone disappears into nowhere. This time it was an ordinary cat. Surveillance footage shows the tailed creature going about its business, and as it approaches the wall, it seems to dissolve into it. What's even stranger, it's like it transformed. Note the silhouette that appeared right after the cat disappears. Maybe this isn't a glitch in the matrix, but a demonstration of the cat's superpowers. And here's another fragment with the cat, but with a different one. Now we see the reverse process, as the cat appears out of nowhere and runs toward the camera, disappearing behind the frame. As you can see, apart from the car, there was nobody and nothing in the yard, judging by the footage. The cat didn't run out from behind the car or from the thicket. It literally just appeared on the spot. Glitches in the matrix are real, and the next creepy video will finally convince you of that. Here we see an ordinary child playing with a mirror. We can see from the reflection that he's looking into the camera, but his reflection remains in place. Moreover, the reflection becomes diabolical. The boy's eyes in the mirror fill with dark color, and he himself stares angrily into the camera. The gruesome spectacle lasts for a couple of seconds, but then the reflection comes back to normal and copies the movements of the real boy. Maybe we really do live in the Matrix with occasional glitches and lags. After all, there are other theories, assumptions, and facts that'll make you feel differently about the world, not just the videos and photos. Stay tuned to learn about them and see if the world around us is a simulation and we're all game characters. Modern computers are capable of simulating and modeling various events, although relatively recently they were only capable of calculating primitive operations. The same can be said about our phones. Today's smartphones are incredibly powerful and can do things we could only dream of doing a couple decades ago. Technology's only moving forward, which means that in a few more decades, computers will be so powerful that they'll be able to create ultra-realistic simulations. It's possible that these simulations will contain conscious beings who will not realize that they're in the Matrix. The same could be said of us. Mathematicians and programmers say that anything can be expressed in numbers. Mathematics is the basis of the binary code with which all programs are written, including all simulations. That is, our entire universe can be decomposed into numbers if we wish, and this can prove the fact that we're in a simulation written by some higher being. After all, if we can decompose anything into numbers and codes and create a simulation, why can't higher beings do it? Speaking of our universe, we have an amazing place in it. So much so that sometimes it's hard to believe. Our planet is located at an ideal distance from the sun. With the exception of the poles and certain regions, our planet is not cold, nor is it very hot. We have protection from radiation, water, food, and more. We know for a fact that intelligent and advanced life exists only on Earth. Are we lucky? Perhaps. But it's also possible that someone created these perfect conditions for us in the simulation. The universe is huge, which means that intelligent and advanced life definitely exists not only on our planet, but why haven't aliens contacted us yet? Yeah, there have been many UFOs and witnesses of aliens, but the existence of aliens is still not 100% proven. Why? Theorists believe that if advanced life must be in places in the universe, but only exists on Earth, then we're in a simulation. Apparently, whoever's in charge of the simulation just decided to observe how humans operate on their own. But it's possible that there is other evolved life after all, and it's not only in other galaxies but also in other universes. Proponents of the simulation theory often refer to the theory of parallel worlds and multiple universes. According to them, parallel universes are something like new profiles for the same video game. The creator is always playing the same game but under different profiles, testing different events, in the same way we do it in video games. There's another explanation for this. In order to create a simulation, you have to constantly run tests. When creating a simulation as complex as the universe, you can't help but have bugs, so each new parallel universe is a world with some bugs fixed. Perhaps we live in the best possible simulation, or perhaps our world is a failed profile that's far from perfect. Expansion. One of the most important questions for science and humanity is about the expansion and emergence of the universe. There's a well-known theory about the Big Bang, which was the very beginning. The same theory can be interpreted in terms of simulation. If so, then the Big Bang was the start of the simulation, or the video game as one prefers. Theorists believe that our universe is expanding because of constant updating and adding various modifications. This can be compared to the updating of games when new locations are added, resulting in a new world. Thus, proponents of the Matrix theory believe that our creators can expand the universe in a similar way. That is, it grows because the simulation is augmented, updated, and improved. If this is indeed true, I wonder if there's a limit to these updates. That's all, guys. Do you believe that we're living in a simulation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.